Hey guys, real quick, before the guide starts, I do want to go ahead and remind you guys that I always leave an index down below, so obviously people are going to have different knowledges of where to go with Tithe Farm and stuff. If you have absolutely no idea about the Hosidius, Zaya part, or Tithe Farm itself, go ahead and watch the whole video. But if you want to go ahead and just skip it, you're already at 100% Hosidius favor and everything. There will also be a point where you can click on just to get straight to the Tithe Farm point. So anyways, with that said, I hope you all enjoy the guide and get use out of it. I will see you all soon. Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Today I'm going to be going over my old school RuneScape Tithe Farm guide. Okay, so Tithe Farm is actually a minigame exclusive to old school RuneScape, so for all those RuneScape 3 players clicking on this, unfortunately this is not for you. For those of you wondering, Tithe Farm is a farming based minigame that is located in the Hosidius house in Great Corinne, or Zaya, whichever you prefer. Also, this minigame is completely safe, so before I go into this, don't worry, any items that you bring, you will not lose. It's literally impossible to die here unless you bring something that will actually kill you, so don't worry about that. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and dive right into this. So first of all, before we actually go into what Tithe Farm entails, let us talk about the requirements a little bit before we actually get started. The requirements to actually do Tithe Farm, first and foremost, you want to have 100% favor in the Hosidius house in Great Corinne. I'll briefly go over how to get 100% favor, basically the methods I did to get there the fastest. The first two are kind of a bit slow, maybe a bit tedious, but the last one you can actually get 100% fairly quickly, and I'll show you how to do that in just a brief little kind of explanation here. Also, guys, I did want to go ahead and mention if you all are planning on going ahead and knocking out, like if you're starting from 0% favor in the Hosidius house and you're planning on going all the way to 100 in one sitting, I want to go ahead and tell you the items that you want to bring. There's not that many. If you're also planning on doing Tithe Farm, I'll throw those items in as well. So here's the items that you're going to want. You need to bring a hammer, a spade, a seed dibber, and 4 watering cans. Now, there is a bank here to access it, but keep in mind later on when we're actually playing the Tithe Farm minigame, I'll go into this more detail later, but if you want, go ahead and bring some humidify spell runes too. If you have Lunar Spellbook open and the magic level required, definitely bring those runes with you. However, if you want to just save it and get in later, there is a bank there you can access, so that is no good to worry. So if you're just wanting to get favor, hammer, spade, and seed dibber, and that is all you're going to need. Right guys, so we've made it to the first step to begin working on our 100% Hosidius favor. So step number 1 is firstly to get where I am now. We are in Zaya, or Great Corinne, right now. Now, how I got here was, I basically just took the Port Sarum boat to the docks here, and I walked a bit west, and I took these houses through here just to get to these plow farms here. So basically, for those of you who've never been to Zaya before, when I first got here, if you see these kind of like dark lines around the map, I actually thought those were walls when I was first looking at the map. Those are actually streets though, so if you can actually traverse on these just fine, you can get through and here to, you can basically take the streets. They're not walls, so for those of you who are confused, because I was confused when I first got here as well. So once you have made it here, your objective is very easy. You can do this to the first 5%. You're going to push this plow right here, and your character is literally going to do the work for you. This is very AFK. You can sit here and just let it work for you. Now, the reason that you need to bring a hammer, this is actually the step where we do need a hammer. The reason we need a hammer is because sometimes the plow will break down on us. Now, once it gets to the end like this, you will be rewarded with a little bit of XP, and favor is awarded just randomly while you are plowing these fields here. So you can literally try and find the longest field. I'm pretty sure that I am on the longest field right now. That way it makes it a little bit more AFK, and it's just going to make it easier on you in the long run. We're not here for that long, like I said. We're only here until 5%. But if you see that the plow does break down and you have to repair it, that's why we have our hammer. We can go ahead and repair it. And just continue doing this till you're at 5%. Okay guys, so once you have achieved your 5% favor, let's open up the world map. This is now where you want to head to continue on getting favor. This is actually where I did 5 to 45% favor for the Hosidius house. Make your way to this bank down here, a little bit southwest where we just were. The items you will need for this is simply a spade, and what I would recommend if you're a main or an Ironman that has unlocked them, bring staminas or super energy potions, whatever you want, just so you can constantly keep running. It's going to make it a bit faster. Now, obviously, in my situation, since I'm making a guide, I have items in my inventory. However, if you are just getting favor here, leave your spade in, and that's the only item you'll need besides your staminas or potions, like I said. Keep as much room as open as you can, just so you can get as much saltpetre as you can. when you're mining. So if we open up the world map now, what your objective is now, you'll see these little circles around the map, these little gray circles on the ground here, and I think there's 5 of them. I might be wrong, there might be 6, but I'm pretty sure there's 5 circles. And you will know the right circle to choose because when you're walking around, you will see a yellow dot on that circle. Okay guys, so since I just got here, I have actually found the NPC Canoe, however you want to pronounce that. He will always be at the circle because once you dig enough saltpeter, it will disappear and move to another circle. You'll have to find it again. However, they're all in pretty close proximity, so it's not going to be that hard to find. Once you find this circle, just go ahead and start digging up all the saltpeter you want. You'll get multiple per dig, so it's not going to take you too long to get an inventory. Simply bank and repeat. So guys, once you have enough saltpeter, I will go ahead and tell you to get 45%. If you had just gotten 5%, you're going to need 800 saltpeter to continue on. 800 saltpeter is going to get you to 45%. I'll tell you what to do with that saltpeter right now. So I did want to go ahead and mention for all those mains out there or accounts that can actually trade, you can actually buy your own saltpeter off the Grand Exchange. If you did not know, you did not have to do this. Since this guide is mainly directed towards Iron Man, I did want to show how to actually gather and collect the saltpeter. So the next step, once you have your saltpeter, whether you've bought it or dug it up, whatever one, you also need compost. Now, if you're an Iron Man, I would recommend just going to Catherby. If you all know where the farming store is over there, you can buy from the NPC there. There's plenty of compost you can get. They actually sell them in packs very cheaply, and you can get plenty very cheap very fast. So once you have your compost and saltpeter, you simply want to use the saltpeter on the compost just like this. And once you've done this 800 times, you're going to go talk to the clerk over this way if I open up my map right now. Okay, so we've traveled a bit southwest, so this is the clerk's building right here. And once you get here, simply talk to the clerk, and you're going to, she's going to take basically every single sulfurous fertilizer that you've made, and you can actually leave all of that in the bank. You do not have this noted on you. You can actually just leave it in the bank, and she's going to take it from you. The reason she's not taking it from me right now is because I already have 100% favorite in the house. So once you have that 800 sulfurous fertilizer done, leave it in your bank, come talk to the clerk. You're going to instantly jump to 45%, and then we can move on to the fastest and easiest step of them all, and it's honestly pretty fun. Okay guys, welcome back to the last part of the Hosidius favor part, how to get 100%. This is going to be the fastest and probably the most fun once you get the hang of it. It's really not that hard. Basically, essentially, you are making 3 different types of foods. Those foods are displayed up in the top left corner here. Now, as you can see, each of them is at an equal percentage right now. We're essentially feeding the Shazian soldiers the food that they are wanting the most. As you can see, they're basically even right now. They're neutral on whatever food we make. So if you do have this scenario, you can make whatever food you want. Obviously, we're dealing with meat pies, pineapple pizzas, and stew. Now, if you don't know how to make those, I will put up a little something on the video right now that you'll see, and you can actually see how to make those quite easily. But what you're going to be dealing with right now, you're going to have a food cupboard, a meat table, a sink, a utensil cupboard, and of course your ovens. Now, you're essentially going to be, once you find out what food you want by determining which one is highest, towards the right, whichever one is obviously the highest, it'll go from like, red to orange to green, whatever. Once you've decided which one you're going to make, the food cupboard right here is going to deal with like the kind of tomatoes and cheese and whatever, kind of the toppings, if you will, for like the pineapple for the pizza, potatoes for the stew, and the tomatoes and cheese for the pizza as well. So once you've done that, you can also use the meat table here to take as any meats. This is for the stew as well. And then finally, if you want, you can go over to the utensil cupboard as well. This is where you can get your bowls and pie dishes. You know what I'm talking about. And you can basically just start building your stuff there. Once you have actually successfully made the raw version, you can cook it on the oven and then simply put it on the table and then wash, rinse, repeat. The good thing about this is you will get 3% per food that you put on the table. So obviously once you get in a rhythm, this can go very fast and you'll have 100% in no time. Okay guys, so we finally achieved 100% favor in the Hosidius house, and now we can finally move on to what I really wanted to talk about with the guide, and that is the Tithe Farm. Now if you don't know how to get here, you're going to want to make your way to this eastern house in Great Corinne. You'll see Tithe Farm here. Now how I like to get here, like I said, I'll go back to the docks how I got here. So take the boat from Port Sarum, or if you have another transportation method, you probably know how to get here. But if you know how to go from the docks, go a bit west, and then you can take it to this house again, and then just proceed down this street until you get to this house, and that is how you get here. Now, there's 3 different types of plants that you'll be growing in Tithe Farm, depending on your level. And that will obviously differ in XP and how much per hour you will be getting. So right here, if I look on the table, you can see what level you need to grow each type of seed. The Galanova seed being level 34, the Balagano seed, which I'll usually be planting. I'm not 74 yet, unfortunately. That's level 54. And finally, the Lagavano seed at level 74. So, determine which seed you need to get if you want to get some more farming XP while you're growing your crops outside of Great Corinth. This is a great way to do it, and that's how I got my farming level up as well. So go ahead and choose your seed that you want. You're going to grab 100 of them, and you can go ahead and exit the farm door right now. Sorry if you just heard thunder right there. It's actually thunderstorming outside right now. So now we are out into the actual minigame. So keep in mind that the wiki might say this is a fast-paced minigame, but I'm going to show you the way that I like to do it. And it's honestly really easy. If you put in some music, you can grind this very easily and you can get some farming XP without much thought required at all. And I'll show you basically how the game works. So before we start growing anything, I'll kind of go over what we have in our inventory and how that's going to help us with the Tithe Farm minigame overall. So like I said before, you will need a spade and a seed dibber for this minigame. Those are the basic tools you'll be using to plant the actual seed. When you first get in here, you will also be giving Grocaller's fertilizer. Grocaller's fertilizer will never deplete. You can use it however you want to. However, I don't recommend using it at all towards the end. Essentially what it does is it makes your plants grow twice as fast here. Now that might sound good, but the way we're going to do it is if you're going to be using the fertilizer in the method that I'm about to show you, it's going to be too fast and your plants are going to end up dying. You basically have to, this game involves planting seeds and make sure you water them before they get to the next phase. So if you end up not watering one of those plants and it's too fast for you, that plant will die and you're not going to be able to get that XP bonus at the end. If you are able to plant all 100 seeds and harvest them correctly, you will get an XP bonus at the end, and that way you can get the maximum so you didn't waste any of your time. So at this point, I'll show you what I like to do. I usually like to pick 2 fields like this, and also 2 others. So we're going to be working with 4 different patches. This is the place that I usually like to have. So you kind of side by side, not necessarily, I don't like to go vertical as much. I like to pick these 2, and I like to work with these 2 as well. So other than that, also I wanted to mention that Humidify is very good here. Once you run out of your watering cans, which will happen very quickly, you can just simply use your Humidify spell to refill those quickly. Now, obviously, if you don't have Lunar Spellbook, there is buckets of water over here, or water barrels rather, and you can fill up your watering cans that way. So once you get here and you got your seeds ready, start planting right away. You're not, you can basically wait however long you need to if you need to kind of figure out what's going on. That's absolutely fine. So I'm going to start planting these seeds really quick. And once you do this, you're going to go back and water them all. And then we're going to do the same in that next patch next to us right there. Alright, we got the first patch watered, so now we're going to move over to this one. There's going to be 4 plants that you plant per patch, so just keep that in mind. You can water these as you're planting them, or you can kind of wait till you plant them and then just run back and do it. Either way works. But once you have all 4 of these patches ready to go, you're simply going to go back to where you started and keep watering them until they get to the harvest point. Now, I'll show you all right now why I like planting them this way. As you can see, we just now finished this patch and we can actually run back, and these are already ready to be watered again. So just go back to where you started, try and water them as fast as you can. If you actually see in the top right, or left rather, as soon as that number changes on the watering can, that means you can go to the next one. So that's 5, 4 there, we can go to the next one, and just simply repeat this. It's very simple. A bit fast-paced, I guess, but honestly, using this method, it's pretty easy. And if you're using music, I don't think it's going to get too tedious on you, and you basically do this for 100 seeds, and that's all there is to it. Just wait for the plants to grow, water them, and that's all there is to it. Now, on the wiki guide, I will mention that they did say that you can grow 20 at a time. The reason they mentioned that is so that by the time you are done planting them all, obviously we're dealing with 16 right now, being 4 patches, so you would have like an extra 4 up here. The reason I don't like doing that, however, is just because it takes away kind of the easiness concept. A lot of people, obviously, if you're wanting to get this done as quickly as possible, be my guest, you could do that. But if you are to do that, I would recommend bringing like stamina potions so you're always being able to run. And if you basically, once the plants are ready to harvest, at that point, if you don't have any potions, you can use that time to walk and regain your energy. That's what I like to do. So basically that's all there is to it, guys. If you do 16 at a time this way, you can just come back as soon as you finish planting those. You can come back and water these again. And that's really all there is to it. Now, this is actually the second to last phase that I'm on right now for the plants. As you can see, their colors and phases are changing as I continue to grow them. This is an example of a completely grown Balagano plant. So once I finish watering all the rest of them, I can come back and harvest those. When you harvest the fruits, they are also stackable. That is a good thing to know. So you don't have to deposit them until the very end if you don't want to. You can just simply go back and forth between the patches, continue to water them, and harvest them, and then that's all you have to do. So like I said, plant the seeds, water them, water all 16, go back and just water them again, and that's all you want to do. So guys, that's really all there is to the Tithe Farm minigame. It's, like I said, it's directed mainly towards Ironmen because we don't have as many methods to train farming as efficiently as other accounts do. So keep that in mind, but obviously if there's some mains or other accounts out there looking to get some other farming XP while you're waiting around to, get some more farming XP, you can do that as well. So as you can see, I'm just collecting all the fruits right now. Once you finally finish up all the 100 fruits, you can deposit them in a sack right here, and it's going to give you a nice XP reward depending on, like I said, what level you're at. For me right now, I'm getting about 20k farming XP each time I deposit them, so that's really nice. So I like to see, I can't even talk now, guys. But anyways, once you harvest all the plants, I just go back, literally repeat what I said before, start planting, watering right away. Do that until you finish off your 100 seeds, and you're good to go, guys. So if this guide helped you guys, be sure to leave a like below. It's a really easy farming minigame. However, a lot of people like me, I know, haven't been to Zaya to check this out yet. It's really nice, guys, and if you're an Ironman out there trying to get like the rock hards done, I know you need 65 farming or 68 farming. This is a good way to do it while you're planting your trees and your herbs outside of Zaya. So hope you guys got some use out of this. Hopefully it enlightened you on Hosidius house a little bit, how to get here, how to work Tithe Farm most efficiently and easily. Like I said, plug in some music, just grind this. It's really not hard at all. And hope you guys enjoyed this. So I will see you all next time. As I like to say at the end of all my guides, feel free to suggest another guide down below. I think someone actually suggested that I make a money-making guide. I'll be happy to make one of those. But feel free to throw those suggestions down below because there are a lot of guides out there that I would like to make. So I will see you all in the next video. Probably going to be an Iron Man progress video very soon. And so I will see you all there. So take care, guys. Have an absolutely amazing day. I'll see you all soon.